Hello, my name is April. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have not done a sewing tutorial in over a year. It's been a long time, but I have been using my sewing machine. And today I'm going to show you how to do a buttonhole on your Brother LX3817 sewing machine. This video is for Phoebe Sue. Hey Phoebe, let's get started. Let's go over the materials we'll need. This is the buttonhole presser foot. This should have come with your sewing machine when you first purchased it. If you do not have a buttonhole presser foot, I'm pretty sure you can order one on Amazon or joannfabrics.com. You'll need a seam ripper or a pair of scissors. You'll need some fabric chalk, but I'm going to use a Sharpie marker because it writes dark. And it's just for demonstration purposes. It's not a project that I'm working on. It's just to show you how to use your Brother sewing machine to get a buttonhole. Some fabric to test on. You want to practice a few times before you work on it, like a project or a garment. So this is leftover fabric, and I've already made about maybe three buttonholes just to test it out. And you'll also need a ruler. Oh, and you can't forget your button. So this is just a button off of a jacket. You'll want to turn your sewing dial to the number 1. This is where you start your buttonhole stitch. So this one is steps 1 and 3. No. Yeah, 1 and 3. This is step 2 and this is step 4. So we'll start with stitch A, which goes left and right on the bottom of your button. And then we'll switch over to B, which goes from the bottom to the top. Then we'll switch back to C, which goes left to right. And then we'll switch to D, which goes from the top down to the bottom. And then you'll be complete. Your buttonhole will be complete. You'll want to remove any presser foot that you were using previously by just pulling it down and taking it off. And then you'll want to install your buttonhole presser foot. I just placed my button presser foot underneath and then lower the presser holder. I'm not even sure of the technical term for this piece, but you just lower it and it will attach just like that. Now it's attached. And that is what it should look like. Next, you'll want to measure your button, and then I add about 1/4 of an inch. So this button is about 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to measure that out on our fabric. Maybe I don't want to do that so close to the edge. Just go up a little bit. And this will be your guide. So this is where you'll want to start your buttonhole stitch, and then you'll go up, and then you'll go across, and then you'll come back down to the beginning. So go ahead and turn on your sewing machine and make sure that your dial is on the 1 for step A. You'll want to line up your needle with your first line, the line that is closest to you. It is so hard getting a good angle. I'm using my phone, so it's not fitting properly. But what I do is I lower my needle just to make sure it hits the line at the bottom that's going from left to right before I start, just to make sure it's in the right position. So now you're going to slowly press the foot pedal, and then you'll make your stitches as thick as you want them. You can always go back over the stitches at the end. So I'm just going to start slowly. Okay, that looks good enough. Next, what you'll do is you're going to turn your dial to B. Now your stitch line is going to go upward. So just go ahead and start slowly. And you'll want to keep an eye for the line at the top as you're going. Just be careful not to pass it. Next, you'll turn your dial back to C. This stitch is going to go from left to right. So go ahead and use your foot pedal, go slow. And again, you want to eyeball the thickness to see how thick you want your buttonhole stitches to be. That looks good enough for me. So now I'm going to turn my dial to D. Now the machine is going to go from the top down to the bottom where you first started your stitches. And it goes by itself. You just want to make sure that the fabric stays straight. I think we're at the beginning. So now you'll raise your presser foot and remove your fabric. Make sure that your needle is not still in the fabric. You'll make sure it's raised. And then you'll trim the thread. And this is what the buttonhole will look like. So you'll just grab your seam ripper and then you'll rip from the bottom to about midway, and then you'll rip from the top to midway. I'm gonna try to do this on camera. Watch your fingers. That was a little bit beyond midway, but you get the point. And then start at the bottom and then come up to the other side. Next, you'll test your button. So here's the fabric and the buttonhole. You'll just make sure that it passes through. Again, this isn't perfect, but this is just to give you a general idea of how to use the buttonhole stitch on your Brother LX3817 sewing machine. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!